or at least a spot that
It's the best spot.
the best spot you could be under the circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, so North, I hope this should be a pretty routine 2-heart opening at any vulnerability. Decent 6-card heart suit and a little something outside. East, I think you have a pretty textbook takeout double, right? 14 points, so full opening values, relative shortness and hearts, support for all the unbid suits. All right, that's the easy part here. South, I don't see any reason why you would get involved here. Typically, if you don't have game interest, and South with 11 points, you can't really have game interest when the best your partner can have is about 10 points, right? And you do have a couple hearts, so if you played it in hearts, you wouldn't be crushed. Would you, how would you do in hearts?
Yeah, but wouldn't you be advancing the preempt by doing?
Okay, so if you decide to advance a preempt, you should stay. This is one of the areas where you want to stay in compliance with the law of total tricks. So you don't want to be in 3 hearts unless you have a 9-card heart fit.
I got you.
Right. So yes, I am raising the 3 hearts, which is not invitational, by the way. If that happens, remember that that anytime you're raising partner's suit, that is not an invitation to go on the game. You're just trying to jam things up. So yeah, take any other card from this hand, and it could be a fairly weak hand. Take any other card out of that hand and make it a 3rd heart, and yeah, I think I would compete the 3 hearts. Whether or not I think 3 hearts is making, irrelevant. I think the opponents are making something. So, I'm comfortable going down 1. But since you don't really, since you only have an 8-card fit, you don't even have a heart on or anything like that. You don't have a roughing value. South, I think you'd just be quiet. Because there's no guarantee that the opponents are going to end up in a great spot, right? You do have a little bit of defense, right? You've got the takeout, and when you decide whether or not you should bid, it's always a good idea to think about what kind of defense do we have. Because if you think you have some defense, it's probably a good idea not to bid. And so, here, hard to tell. Certainly you figure after the takeout double, the opponents aren't going to land in spades with your good spade holding. But if they do, you definitely want to defend, right? If they end up in 3 of a minor, harder to tell. You might beat it, it might make. But if it's close enough where you think you have a chance to beat it, then usually what you want to do is defend and see how you can do there. Whereas if you bid, you may be guaranteeing your side a minus score. And usually in these situations, especially in duplicate, any plus score on your side is what you're after. All right. It is West, though, that really has the biggest issue here. And this is why I would say more than on any no trump opening, after week 2 double, I think this is if you only played a Lebensohl in one place, this is where you want to play it. Because now West, you're not totally broke, but you don't have a great hand either, right? So partner's double is forcing you to bid. If you bid 3 diamonds, how is he supposed to tell whether you have done this with 8 or 9 or 10 points or even a little more? Or you could be sitting over there with next to nothing, and you've got to deal with this double. You've got to do something. And so this is where Lebensohl comes in. So if you were to bid a direct 3 diamonds, you would typically be showing a good 8 or 9 to maybe 11, 12 points, somewhere in that range. And it wouldn't be forcing, but it would be forward going. And then if partner has a minimum takeout double, they pass. Or they can probe for game. Now, here's the thing to remember about Lebensohl with your, kind of distinguishing your weak response to the double versus a somewhat constructive response. If you can bid your suit at the 2 level, then you don't have to worry about this. This is often going to happen when you can bid a major, right? So like if they open 2 hearts and partner doubles and you can actually support spades, you have 4 or more spades, you just bid 2 spades to show a weak hand. So the direct bid at the 2 level like that you're not showing anything extra. This is, I bring this up just so that partner doesn't get confused and think, oh, you didn't bid Lebensohl. You bid the suit directly. You must have a good hand. No. That would still be a weakish hand with spades. Why force the auction to 3 spades if you could get out at 2, right? And remember also that if partner doubles and the suit you want to bid could be bid at the 2 level or the 3 level, a jump to the 3 level is how you would show a better hand. Right? So Lebensohl is going to be for those hands where partner makes the takeout double after the week 2, and you don't have the ability to sign off in your suit at the 2 level. You must go to the 3 level. And so what we're trying to do here is to distinguish the auction that gets us to 3 just to play as like, partner, let's stop, let's be done with this as soon as possible, versus, hey, if you didn't make the worst takeout double, maybe we have something here. So the direct 3 diamonds would show a little better hand than this, probably about a queen better than this. And you can always consider distribution and things like that, right? What if we give you a singleton and a 6th diamond? Do you want to bid the hand in a more constructive fashion then with 7 points? That would be a reasonable choice. So you always get to make a judgment call, and that includes distribution too. But the idea is partner has made a takeout double, so you should have a fit somewhere, we hope, right? Now, what would you do in this exact same situation if you didn't have a 5-card diamond suit and you were 4-4 in the minors? Well, now you're guessing a little, right? I would still start with Lebensohl. There's no guarantee that you get to your best fit.
Okay, would you pass clubs?
So if you're 4-4, do you relay partner to clubs and pass, or do you correct it to diamonds? If I had 2 4-card minors, I suspect I would pick the better of the 2 suits, which on a hand like this would result in playing a 4-3 fit rather than a 4-4 fit, which, could be less than ideal, but.
Okay, have a question on the responder. What if you have a really crappy hand and less than 5 points? I assume you still go through Lebensohl?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an idea where you want to play, because remember, the crappier your hand, the more critical it is to get that double off the table, right?
Yes.
I mean, you sure don't want to defend, right? The worse your hand is, you'd rather play it than defend, because your defense evaporates. So the direct bid would show a better hand here. So we want to start with 2 no. All right. Now, coming back over here to East, at this point, East, you are typically just going to do your job, which is to bid 3 clubs. You don't know what partner has in mind, but partner may want to sign off in 3 of a minor. Partner may actually have a good hand with a heart stopper, right? Because remember, that's a possibility. Sometimes we start the lead. What would happen if West followed 3 clubs with 3 no? What does that show?
Stopper.
Yeah, that's a hand that wants to play 3 no and has a heart stopper, right? Which this hand does have a heart stopper, but it's not game forcing. It would need to be quite a bit better. So for the most part, East, you just do your job. You bid 3 clubs. If partner passes there, I don't think you're upset. If that's partner's best / longest suit, and you have King Jack 4th, and then you're going to play it. In this case, because West's longest suit is diamonds, we're going to correct 3 clubs to 3 diamonds, and East, that is your indication that you should pass next, because you're as high as you want to be. And 3 diamonds is makeable on this hand. It takes careful play. You've got a couple of finesses. You've got to try and you can get away with no trump loser. You've got to try and pick up the queen of diamonds, which can be a little tricky if the defense happens to find try and get a trump promotion down there by over roughing a heart. Now, in this case, 3 diamonds. This auction is going to lead to West playing 3 diamonds, right? your Lebensohl could lead to either person, either the doubler or the person responding to the double could end up declaring the hand. Here would probably be, this doesn't plays the same way from either side on the analysis, but we'd actually probably want the weaker hand playing this. Why would I say that?
So the opponents can't see where the kings are?
Well, I mean, the stronger hand is going to come down here in three diamonds, right? Because East is going to end up being the dummy. But at least there's a chance, at least the first thing that's not happening is a heart coming through my king.
Right.
Yeah, the
So
other
if
one-
South
Right.
is on lead, they're going to lead their partner's suit,
Right.
right? And how's this going to go? Well, 8 of hearts, whether you cover or not, Queen of hearts, if you do play the king, cover the ace, queen, and then we see what's going on with the heart suit. They might see to lead a third heart and try to give this person an uppercut. So now, one more thing about Lebensohl, and we're not going to have a hand that does this today, but would we ever, with this hand that made the takeout double, after partner bids 2-0, would we ever refuse the relay and do something different? I don't think we talked about that. I don't believe we looked at an example of that.
Yes.
When we,
would ask
all right.
the question.
Okay, so is it not possible, and consider the scenario, we have a weak 2 bidder, we have somebody over here who probably has a fairly weak hand. Who's to say that East's takeout double isn't a 20-point hand, where they need very little from you to make a game? If that's the case, yeah, and in particular, a very strong hand that doesn't have a stopper in the opponent's suit, right? I mean, we can take a couple cards out of the South hand, put them in here, throw a couple kings in there. All of a sudden, it's like a 2-0 opener, right? Except that they've opened 2 hearts, and maybe you have something like Jack doubles and of hearts. So 3-0 may be out of the picture, but that doesn't mean game is. You are allowed to break the relay if you have a really strong hand. How would you go about breaking that relay? Well, you may be doubling and bidding on a strong suit of your own, right? What if you had 18 or 19 and ace, king, jack, 6 of spades, something like that? Partner starts the relay. Do you have to bid 3 clubs? No, you can break the relay and bid 3 spades in that situation. And then partner would know, oh, you doubled first and then you bid your spades, and it's like any other double and bid auction. You're showing a big hand with a long suit of your own, saying, partner, I know you aren't interested in spades, but I've got a good hand and a good spade suit, and guess what? It was too good to simply overcall 2 spades when they opened 2 hearts, right? So that's always a possibility. You can have a